Welcome back to Teach a Man to Fish channel. Today's video is going to be shish kebabs done on a cast iron hibachi, the Lodge Sportsman's grill. Let's go ahead and get started.
Shh, don't tell my wife. Instead of cows, we may be getting some goats first.
This recipe can be made with beef, chicken, lamb, you name it. We're doing something a little bit different here. We're gonna try goat. I'm expecting this meat to behave and be very similar to lamb meat. I've never tried goat before, but this video is being made during the quarantine process, and it's just fortunate enough that the last time I was down visiting my brother in Florida, I got close to Miami, and in actuality, goat is used all over the world as a staple meat for meals. It was available in the grocery store down there, so I picked up a hind quarter.
Knife is critical to the boning out process, and I don't get wrapped around the axle over the edge, but I do like a sharp knife.
I pulled out that hind quarter yesterday from the freezer, went ahead and got it cleaned up and cut up, and just like with lamb, depending on how much of that earthy flavor that you want to get, it resides in the fat. The more you clean off the fat and spend the time in the preparation of this meat, the less of that strong flavor is going to be in your final meal. Now the cubes aren't too big, they're not too small. If they're too small, they'll get dry real fast on that grill. If they're too large, they won't cook all the way through before your vegetables are overcooked. This video will answer the question, how is shish kebab made? What's in shish kebab? Is shish kebab healthy? The recipe for that marinade will be down below. We let that sit in the fridge for a day. So while it's sitting in that marinade, if there's any toughness in the meat, the acid in that marinade will break that meat down some and you'll get a much more tender product. We're going to be putting on several different types of vegetables. We won't be marinating these. I've found that the juices in the marinade that come out of the meat is enough to get into those vegetables. Marinating those vegetables has a tendency to make them too soft and squishy. We're going to be using things like squash, zucchini, red onions, sweet onions, 2 different types of tomatoes, several different colors of peppers, mushrooms. All of those colors all mixed together creates an amazing eye appeal. Let's not forget the star of the show, the meat. So that's been marinating for more than 24 hours. And at this point, pretty much it's an assembly process. We're also going to try something different with the coals on the Lodge Sportsman's grill. I'm going to try and do an all hardwood cook. We're going to let this ember up and do more of a primitive outdoor style of cooking, kind of like we're cooking over a campfire, but it's on this Lodge hibachi grill.
Now we'll let that simmer down and make coals.
It's about a 15-minute process for that to occur.
Want to check that temperature at cooking height, which would be right around in here. Still a little bit hot. We want this to be, we want to feel discomfort at about 5 to 6 seconds. And right now I'll put in a chart that'll show you how you can tell what the temperatures are. So that's 5 to 6 seconds for discomfort is around 400 degrees. So we're gonna close off the damper some and let this settle down.
Now you may not have this accessory that I use on the grill for spanning across. I made this myself in another video that I'll link right here, but your grill will work just as well on the grill surface, whatever grill you end up using.
It already smells good. That wood smells amazing. Now that white oak gives a completely different flavor compared to your standard Kingsford or other charcoals that you're using. It's worth it to go ahead and get a couple of pieces of white oak. And on the scale of what the different woods taste like, white oak is right around in the middle, maybe a touch on the lower side. You've got hickory and pecan way up here. You've got your fruit woods way down here. White oak is somewhere maybe just a little bit above the fruit, and it's a gentle smoke flavor. It's worth it getting set up and taking the time to get those coals to come from that real wood. During this process, we'll be using these gloves. They are phenomenal for cooking in these scenarios. It makes a lot of the movements. These skewers will get hot, so these gloves make it possible to flip and move those skewers around. If you're interested in these, I'll put a link down below so that you can purchase all the gear and equipment that we use in this video. We'll want to keep these about 4 or 5 minutes per side and assess then whether or not we need to do an additional flip. I want to add a little bit more heat, so I'm going to open up that draft door some. Little bit of air to it. Something else that I've learned with this that you can do, I picked this up at a thrift store. It's just a standard roaster lid. It fits over perfectly on the grill. If you're having a little bit of trouble, and it'll redirect some of that heat and smoke back down into whatever it is that you're cooking. It also works well on the grate top.
With the setup, you need to move some of those skewers from the outer edges into the middle in order to keep the cooking even.
So I've got a whole playlist of live Sportsman's grill cooking or hibachi cooking. I'll put a link right up here to that playlist. There'll also be one at the end of the video. This is one of the joys of being the cook. You get first taste. It's got to be roasting hot. Ow, ow.
Some people ask, what's the origin of shish kebabs? It comes from Turkey. The word shish means skewer. Kebab means roasted meat. So you literally have skewered roasted meat.
Oh man. That is good. I don't know if it's as much the marinade as is the meat. The meat's got a different texture to it. It's very lean, but good. That's fantastic. Of course, the vegetables are good. Look at that, it's tearing right off. I don't know if it's as much the marinade as it is the meat. It's got a little bit of a different texture to it. You can tell it's lean, but it's tender. Having been in that acidic marinade, softened that meat up. That's a home run.
So YouTube says that this video is perfect for your viewing habits. This is my latest upload, and over here is a playlist of other live Sportsman's grill cooking. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click like, subscribe, share, and come on back for more.